Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Professor Sistrunk, and I'm reaching out to my CIS 218 students. Okay, people, this is the first day of class, and I thought I'd send you a very brief video about what you need to do. Now, in this particular class, I want to point out a few things that's going to make this class just a tad different than the first one. First and foremost, we have some new students joining us. So with those new students joining, just remember when you get your book, and I'm going to show you your book, when you get your book, just make sure that if you do not have a little knowledge about Linux, then you need to do a brief overview of the particular chapters, the first chapters in that book. If you need assistance, always remember that on Friday from 9 to 3 p.m. I have what I call open office hours. So reach out to me on that day, or if you need to reach out to me earlier, you can do it. But Fridays we can have a Zoom meeting and we can have a discussion. Okay, so let me do a few things. So I'm going to switch it up right here. I'm going to go into students view, because that's what's important for you. Now, being in student view, the first thing I want you to do is click on content and download your syllabi. As you can see, the syllabus is right here. Download your syllabus so you can review the syllabus. Over here, adjacent on the side, is just pretty much telling you what chapters we will be going through as we walk through this week. As you will see, we're going to start on chapter 6 and we're going to end on chapter 13. This is an 8-week course, and it's a reason we are doing that. So make sure that if you haven't did any Linux, I got some new students in here, go over those first chapters. Now, this is a 2-credit course, so it's not going to be a lot of heavy work involved, but those chapters are key for you to move forward. And my expectation is this: you will read through the chapters, but reach out to me if you're having any problems. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and click on the syllabus, only because I want to give you a bird's eye view of it. As you can see, this is just basic stuff. These are the learning objectives for this class, and you can see it's explain basic Linux, identify and use Linux shell, etc., etc., etc. So this here is going to be really a basic view of Linux, and we stand with this Linux theme. Okay, one of the most important things in this particular class is we're going to get a chance to create little scripts. Now, if you know anything about scripts are simple programs that can make the hardware do things for you, where you don't have to manually do it. A script automates the process. So read through that part so you can get a thorough view of it. Now, down here, you're going to see that this class, following off of the first class, I have tweaked a few things in this class. We only gonna have 2 discussion questions. The first one is you announcing who you are, telling us a little bit about yourself. And the reason I'm doing that is because we got new students. You have to do that before Wednesday. And the reason I have you do that before Wednesday is because if you don't do it before Wednesday, I am forced to have to drop you from the class, because the college mandates at a certain period, if a student is not doing work, we got to drop them from the class. So that's important. Do that. The next discussion question is simply going to be a discussion question where you're going to do an evaluation of the overall class. But that's not going to come until the very last day of the class. That's going to be the 8-week. So I'm hoping that you really enjoy this course. But at the end of the day, I'm expecting you to tell me the truth of how you felt about the material in this course. It's relative, and it's going to help you get better and better. But most important is that I'm going to step in and put a lot of my Linux talent into this course. Yes, indeed. Didn't do too much of that the first course because I wanted to see how students would respond to the material. But now I'm going to step it up a notch because, and this is important, because you'll be going into the latter two classes, which are heavily loaded. You're going to have chapter labs. Now, in this course, you will only have 2 labs. One lab is going to be a lab right out of the book. At the end of the chapter, it's going to say exercises, and you will do that one. But the next one is one that I put together that I'm giving you just to see, can you handle the material? So one, you're going to be able to step through step by step and follow. But the next one is going to hit you with a curveball just to enhance your skill set. So be prepared for that. Now the chapter exams, they're going to be roughly 10 questions. And they really little mini quizzes. And that's just to keep your mind fresh about what particular commands you should be familiar. So the chapter quizzes or exams will be heavily on making sure that you remember the commands. It's important. And then you will have a final exam and we will be through with that. Let's move on. So make sure you take a look at the data that's in here that has to do with the dates when things need to be completed. It's important that you complete it on time. So all you basically gonna do it is 1, you're gonna read the chapter to learn. 2, you're gonna do 2 labs. And 3, you're gonna do a quiz or an exam. And I'm gonna keep the quizzes and exams to no more than 10 questions because I want to focus on how you handle those particular labs. It's going to be a sweet class. It's going to be to the point, but we're going to take care of business. After you look at the syllabus, of course, you're going to go do your discussion question. That's just telling the classmates who you are and also telling me who you are. Now, some of you already know each other, but we got new students in there. And remember, it has to be in no later than or on the day of Wednesday at 10:59. I'll let it go if it's 11:59, but try to get it in because at that point, I'm going to be getting emails from the administration talking about, did your students do any work? And you know what that means. Moving right along. In this particular section of assignments, you will have your assignments in there. You'll have 1 quiz and you'll have 2 labs. Now, I want to state this because I heard this from other students in the last class. The quizzes and the labs are for you to reach out and learn more about Linux. Like I expressed to the students, Linux is not an operating system where you just follow step by step. Linux is a community of people who work together to better each other. So you're going to be introduced to a lot of different new material outside of the book that takes you off into the Linux world. We feed off of Linux, and it's important that you begin to get in the Linux mindset. So don't just say, oh, Professor, this question don't seem like it's part of the chapter. Not that you would say it like that. Think, as a Linux administrator, how can I solve this problem? Now, with that being said, you're just going to work off of these 3 tabs. You're going to get your syllabus, you're going to do your discussion question, and mainly you're going to be in here every week. You're going to be given the same amount of work, a quiz, 2 labs. My expectation is that you will read the chapter. Don't play with that. 2, you will do the discussion questions. You will do the quiz and you will do the labs. Now, I just thought I'd give you a short, brief view of what this looks like so you'll be able to jump in there. It is so simple. It is easy. This is a class where you relax and you remember and gain the material. That's what this class is. Now, when we go to the latter 2 classes, the book 3 and book 4, which It's the really advanced classes because they deal with system administrator. You're going to get a lot of labs and you're going to get a lot of quizzes, and it's going to be a lot of work. So at this point, this lays the foundation of what you have to really remember going into Linux. With that being said, this is Professor Systra. I'm going to make this short. Like I said, I'm going to send this out to you tonight. It's officially open, so let's get ready to go.